All right. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to all of you beautiful viewers at home. I'm Jamerson Lee, joined by Kaylee, and this is Base Invaders, presented by Rustoria Servers and sponsored by Rusty Pot. Now, Kaylee, what do our viewers have in store for them today?
I am sure we are going to see an action-packed event. What are we doing? It's 7 versus 7 today. Am I mistaken? I
It
think I'm
is
right.
7v7s here in North America right now, and we're seeing actually something that we saw earlier from Terrence Hool, as they are already set up for the hard point. You can see
Not get to catch it.
it was actually a lot of fun. We got to see some really chunky bases that were eating into a lot of the raid times. The current meta right now, I think we're moving away from a lot of those advent calendar doors, right? And more into the kind of hallway base designs that we're seeing, especially because we have such a large group today.
Yeah, definitely. 7 used to be one of my favorite. It's such a unique niche. You have just enough people to farm, PvP, build. It's the perfect storm.
And right now, Tarantula have full control. Enron on top, or NR on top, excuse me. Enron. Oh man, I'm just really showing my age, knowing what that is. But yeah, NR on top. We're trying to contest them for this right now, but Tarantula seem to have themselves a nice little crossfire setup. You can see how difficult it can be to actually push into the hard point when you have such a large distance to cover to get in.
They are definitely trying their hardest right now. I have lost my stream.
Yeah, looks like we're having some difficulties on our end. We're going to try our best to work through it as we can, but I'm hoping you guys are excited for today's Base Invaders event. Like Kaylee said, I love 7v7s. It just creates such a different dynamic when it comes to a lot of these raids. We have, I believe, 14 teams actually competing today. We do have about 3 of them are situated around this hard point. It's still Tarantul, though, that have it controlled for the time being. 2 members inside the hard point and proper, but they're getting contested. So you have to remember, you have to have full control. You can't have any other enemies in there, or neither side will accrue any points.
Yeah, it looks like these 2 teams, Pivo and Tearful, they kind of built for this monument, right? Strategically, they set themselves up. Tearful having, a little more of an advantage. Oh, we have a 3rd team here. Who's the 3rd team? I can't see.
We'll find out in just a moment, but yeah, we're seeing. I feel like more people trying to contest for the hard points. Yeah, it is going to be Pivo and possibly another squad just off to the side as well. Render distance not quite there, and this is quite surprising to have this many squads. Now we have to remember this is the attack phase, so no rating quite yet, but we have other objectives like we just saw with the hard points. We also have, of course, the attack helicopters that will, or the patrol helicopters that will be coming out, and that's another way you can, of course, accrue points. Now, taking at a look at this base, the Hacienda base, this is a rough one. They don't have much in the way of a roof, and because of that, oh, they were just built right on in, ladders right on of. Zalyava, with 26 minutes left in this attack phase, are just going to keep them contained in here.
Zaliava. That's why they pay you the big bucks. I was literally staring at the screen going, how am I going to pronounce that? Thank you, Jamerson. They definitely are all over this Hacienda team. Isn't Hacienda Spanish for house or something? Am I right? Somewhere close.
Dude, American
They
education. I did 3 years of Spanish in high school, 2 years of Spanish in college, and I could not tell you. But I do think hacienda is actually spelled incorrectly. I'm pretty sure it's supposed to be with a C, but close enough. Close enough, guys.
Okay, okay. Well, they are definitely overtaking this hacienda. How about that? They have full control. They have not sealed up. There's open gaps, there's open doors. These guys, oh, really open doors. Um, they're in trouble.
Yeah, it looks like I don't know if this is going to be one of those corridor bases or if the TC is going to be set up inside of core. Looking at it, doesn't seem there's much in the way of a honeycomb. So I think this is just a core base. Um, I'm not too familiar with the names on this Hacienda squad, so they might be a little bit uh, inexperienced, I would say, in base invaders, particularly the fact that you don't have a roof, right? Or you don't have like roof peaks and stuff like that is pretty indicative of your overall experience here in Base Invaders.
I would agree, Jameson. Again, we are seeing these different builds because, Shell having those inner peaks, all those peak downs. People in the game right now are realizing just how those dirty little peaks inside, how much of an advantage they are, and you see that translating over into base invaders with the
Oh,
difference in the style. Oh, sorry.
look at that roof, though, Kaylee. We were
Yes.
talking about not having much of a roof, and this is a build that just defends so well from the top down. They have so much height over this abyss base that might not even matter because take a look at how many people are on top of it for boobs. Ahaha, also showing up as well. Looks like there are some very early targets for raids once we swap on over to that raid phase.
Now, that base that we seen with that roof, would you say it rules, Jamerson? Like that's like a dominating base. It rules, right?
It looks really nice. I like the
Uh-huh.
fact that, it's got so many layers to it. It's got the peaks. It's well designed to be able to defend from the top down. And they took into consideration the bases around them, it seems like. Taking a look at some other
Yeah.
bases, it looks like Hog Rider with another squad. A lot of the teams set up here on the southwest side looked like the patrol helicopter going down right outside of FXF's base. They will get contested. Hog Riders are here, Masina on the other side. So this isn't going to be the freest take for them.
Marciana's in their base. They're trying to go for roof control. Or is this FX? Are we sure whose base is this?
This is FXF's
This is
base,
FXX.
and oh my god, Lay's got up there. He got 2 down. Unfortunately for him, Kanato was up. He was able to secure that. Doesn't seem like too many PvP points went over in that regard. And unfortunately for FXF, it looked like their turrets were actually turned off. So might want to turn that on, guys. Well,
Yeah.
Masina are still in here, though. Silver ends up finding 1 kill for himself, and he's going to go back up to that rooftop, it looks like, in just a moment. Ooh.
Okay, so the gate's wide open, so they're actually running in. Are they? Or they? No, it's got a block. So they must have laddered in at some point because they're easily getting into this compound. And trying to get that roof control. They're trying to get that roof control. If they can clear all these guys out, there's a potential they could get the crates. Because these guys got to come out of their base now. FSX have to go to the ground and come out of their base to get those crates.
All right, so you can see Silver's actually trying to destroy the twig, but you cannot destroy any structures through the attack phase. It can only be through the raid phase. So they're learning that the hard way, but we'll see. The ladders are still there on the side of that FXF base, but it proves to be a little bit difficult to get up there. Right now, I still want to see
Yeah.
FXF turn on their turrets, please.
Right? And it's funny too, because Messiana, they're in the ideal spot now. This one guy fighting for his life. Now, Hog Riders totally are not reading this situation whatsoever. If they were to push this, they have the perfect advantage to come in and swoop in and get these crates. But right now they're being very, very cautious playing behind these walls.
Yeah, earlier today we saw Don Money come in with some clutch plays for his squad. I forget what name they were playing under. There was a moment where he solo went to counter a raid and actually sniped away a TC while his base was getting raided. So I have a lot of high hopes for what he can do out there. Inside
Okay.
of this FXF base, though, they have lost control over their shooting floor. You can see you have Silver inside right now, and their only saving grace for FXF is to try and hold on for dear life to their roof.
That's crazy. Look, he's got those looked at. He literally can watch them coming out of the base. Now, Komodo on the other side, I'm not sure if he knows he's below him. Oh,
It looked like
and he's
Garu was
gone.
able to take him out. That's how he was able to get in. Ladder in and was able to just climb in through that peak. But that does mean FXF still have their work cut out for them. They're trying to make their presence known here. And Kiko was actually able to push up quite ahead. But it looks like the whole of Hog Riders are now starting to show up. Yogi with a nice angle here, but the terrain's going to make it a little bit difficult for him to really spot out where all these players are. Take a look at that. Peaks now coming over the crest line. He does have the wall covering himself, but he's about to get flanked in just a moment.
Now, I wouldn't expect these guys don't have walls on them. If they did, I'd be shocked. They don't. We should see them wall up very shortly when they make this. I'm not sure. Poor Yogi. Yogi's just a sitting duck.
Yeah, he got spotted out there. I think he was trying to heal up as well. And so he gets taken out, and that's going to be a lot of presence away from this patrol helicopter. And honestly, it went down fairly late throughout this attack phase because now the second one has spawned. Masina are on top of it right now. FXF have a nice angle, and they'll clear out the person that was trying to pick up that loot. Hog Riders going to try and take this opportunity to push up. Yonan actually spawns on an outside bag, and he has an opportunity to try and go out there to pick up that loot. Unfortunately, though, he is actually going to be able to find a flank. Kuzo dropped a little bit low, has survived. Yonan now gets peeked, and there it is. Dwayne pushes up to clear him out. This is Hog Riders controlling the loot now.
Nice. All they needed to do was click those crates. That's the way base invaders works. You don't even have to loot them. As long as you click the crates, you get the point.
Like maybe one more crate left to extinguish itself. Lily will go ahead and give his life for it. Fax is right on top of it. And there is the final one going down. Hog Riders push themselves up to 5th place with those crate pickups. Take a look at the bases. All of them basically on the west side of the map. As we go back on over to the hard point, looks like still a lot of fighting. Pivo over here pushing out as it's going to be NR on top that have control over it. And because of it, they're currently sitting in first place, 51 points overall.
And are strategically, when you look at this, they are not the closest. Like Tarantula, they have perfect advantage looking into this hard point. So good for NR being able to successfully control this. But Pivo, these guys are fighting each other from the outside. Look at these walls.
Yeah, you can see the kind of intentions that were made with just the placements of the walls right now. Oh, Kirito with a nice little backup of V-Kid there. They can pick up 2 kills for themselves, and they'll actually be able to walk back this loot and basically pull off a little bit of pressure. Now, Zalyava actually find themselves in between Pivo and Tarantul, and so Pivo won't have an opportunity to push out. You can see even Rainer camping outside of one of their compound doors. So it's going to be a difficult push out for Pivo.
All I know is we have another team come in. They just need to have 5 letters or less of their name. This is a lot of big words in one place.
A lot of fighting still taking place right now. Zalyava currently sitting in 2nd place with 42 points. Boobs there in 3rd with 40, and Masina with 30. So still pretty close here. We still have 17 minutes remaining in the attack phase. One more patrol helicopter to come up around all of this. A lot of PvP taking place around this hard point. I'm really glad to see we're seeing teams put more and more focus on this objective here in the attack phase.
Yeah, you see NR on top. They're pulling away because they have control of that hard point. The points are ticking as long as they keep everyone else out. That's the way it works. It's still pretty close though. You know, the next few teams are all within 10 to 15 points, so it's a really tight horse race.
Shout out to Ian giving us confirmation Hacienda is indeed spelled with a C, and boobs are known as ass throughout our EU event. This is what we're here for. This is what we need. We need, the backup and the on-air corrections as quickly as possible. Take a look at some of the other bases. Oh boy. Oh boy. Kaylee, thoughts on this base?
This is small. This is a very compact base. Now, That said, you never know, again, the base can only do so much. It's all about the shooters. So hopefully Rusty Boys has some very sharp shooters to make up for what their base might lack.
Uh, yeah, they've got a turret up top.
And it's on. It's
It's
on,
on. That's
Jamerson.
true. That's true. That is already an improvement over other bases that we've seen. They have a turret that's on. It's not in a cubby, but you kind of hope that like the HV rockets just miss. Now there is it looks like the final, or is this still the second patrol helicopter? Yeah, this should be the second patrol helicopter.
It's going off. It looks like it's over a lot of dead space. So basically the heli's looking for people right now. We kind of all end up to the west of the map, like you said. So it's gonna have to have a little lonely flight over there.
Yeah, back to that Tarantula base. It looks like it might be heading over in this direction. We'll see if someone can tag it. They're trying. Enron, actually. Imagine if you can actually get the hard point and then aggro the heli over here and take it down on top of the hard point. That'd be actually pretty impressive. And that's exactly what they're doing.
They're gonna have to time this thing correctly to get it in that hard point.
Oh,
Oh, that thing is so close to going down. They're doing some mad damage.
you gotta
Oh,
be
this will be
careful.
something. If it
It might
goes
go
down
down like
so close.
right. It goes
Right?
right into Tarantulas. No, no, no. It's going back on over. It's extremely low. They got the rotor down. And now there it is, the final little bits to take it out in just a moment,
Right
right
here.
outside. Wow.
Mhm.
Placement there
That
is
is
beautiful.
It's perfect for NR. Perfect. That is a perfect placement. Again, it's so close to their base, yet so close to the hard point. Everybody's got to go through this wall of NR to get to that heli.
And they're like really double dipping on these objectives at this point, right? Hard points accumulation of points there. Currently at 72 points for them. They have just natural cover working their way on over towards the heli loot. This is a really tough spot for any other squad that's looking to contest this one. And particularly for Tarantula and Pivo, they're already busy basically fighting each other. They might not even have an opportunity to try and contest this.
You're so right. It'll just be an interesting fight to see what's going to happen. If anything, we're going to see a lot more walls over on this side now.
Yeah. Setting up a lot of beds as well. So a lot of forethought going into this one. They're already clear in the lead. They have a 15-point lead here in the attack phase up against Zalyava. They can propel this one up, maybe hit triple digits by the end of the attack phase. And we have one more patrol helicopter to come up as well. I don't think in the last 5 minutes, anyone's even tried to step foot into that hard point. So this is going completely uncontested for NR on top.
Yeah, Pivo and the X group, I'm gonna call them the X group. They seem to be kind of set up and after each other right now. They haven't really been messing with this hard point. I'm not sure if they really understand just how much NR is pulling away at this point, but NR definitely taking full advantage of being able to keep control.
Yeah, I think for Pivo, the main concern is just make sure that we don't lose roof control. We know how detrimental it can be if a team is able to get on top of your base throughout the attack phase, transitioning into that raid phase. So with that heli down, oh, get another look at a different base. Again, Kaylee, your thoughts on this
Wow.
base?
Well, when it first started to load, I was like, "I've been to this place. When I was south, the tiki bar looked much like this." And then it loaded a little bit more, and I went, "No, this is kinda like a magical princess castle." This thing is very unique,
Yeah, it
extremely
looks like one of
unique.
those like inflatable balloon castles,
Right?
right?
100%. Listen, style, creativity-wise, you guys are
Ooh.
getting my points today, okay?
That's actually this is kind
Express?
of deceptive because like they've got those little like peak angles coming out from each of the I don't know castle tower walls or whatever. But I mean, when it comes to the raid phase, sure you have a quote unquote like China wall here, but this is a quick pummel. This is such a quick pummel. I do like though that we do have this motif of the ex presidents, all I guess former ex-presidents, except for the building ND. I'm not too sure which president he was. He might have been like the 21st president. If U.S. public education has done me well.
I think that's amazing, you know that, Jamerson. Um, I love the fact we're seeing different bases. You know, we might be shocked when we initially see them because we're just trying to because we're so used to that cookie cutter meta for so long. I'm loving this. Even this base we see here to the right, the triangle base, the NR's base, it's something different. It's something unique, and that makes this so interesting today.
Yeah, we got to see this particular base, I believe, used by NR throughout EU, and it took a beating, but they were able to survive to the end. These triangle hallways are going to prove so valuable in buying time. Of course, there's no real proper core as well to this base. And so you're working on hallway after hallway. I believe when we checked in with it, it was all armored doors as well. So it wasn't as easy as just plop down a few C4 and you're good. You are actually having to expend a lot of boom to make very little progress.
And that's the name of the game. Sevens, you know, you're gonna see a lot more rockets than you usually do. And you have that time. And with the extended, you know, build now with 45 minutes, you just can get so many more resources. So taking that into effect, it'd be exciting going into the raid phase.
And here we have it, NR, who's been controlling this hard point for the better part of the last 15 minutes, are just about to hit 100 points. I imagine that the heli loot has just unlocked and they are starting to pick it up. 105 for NR on top. They have almost a TC lead over Zalyava, who are currently in second place with 68 points. Boobs find themselves in third with 60 with Hog Rider just behind them, now just matching, tied for third place. But for Zalgiava, they've been putting a lot of focus on this Pivo base, but they have not been able to control. We'll see if they can make their way on in. It's like Pivo actually kind of maybe eyeing up that NR base because it is a little vulnerable. They have 4 or 5 members of NR over here at the hard point and also taking that heli loot. So they could lose roof control, but for right now, it looks like all of our players are just happy to relish in the PvP.
Oh, this is a PvPer's dream. I love it when you get right into this and you get these intense fights. They're not looking at the scoreboard. They're just so happy that they're shooting their guns because the one thing in comparison to, you know, normal rush, you don't get those roams like we did in the old days. So Base Invaders is a great chance to kind of relive that and force people into, you know, getting out of their base and shooting their guns.
Yeah, I'm a little disappointed that I was busy throughout what was it, Blue Lagoon's no tech tree because I heard that was actually just an amazing experience that you got to see so many
Yes.
more players and stuff. When you remove that tech tree, like players don't have to just kind of focus on recycling right
The
and just getting all the scrap that
grind.
you can.
The
Yeah.
grind, you know, and that's what he did. He took that element out and just kinda give it a test run. He was trying to show everyone like, "Hey, you know, that we can get back to." But again, Base Invaders, this is a great event. You come, you get to play a whole wipe of Rust squished into 2.5, 3 hours. It is I can't tell you. I've played this so many times and I love it so much.
Oh, I love this base. I have no idea what the hell's going on with the compound, though. It looks like
So
the elevation might have actually
yes.
really disturbed their plans here.
100%. They could not wall this in properly, but whoever built this base, you know, great job. It looks formidable. Like it's a chunky base. What can Two Wake? Is this who it is? Two Wake. Um,
Hmm.
so yeah, like that there is a compounder's nightmare trying to set that up, as you can see. So eh, we'll see how that goes coming the raid phase.
Yeah, I've been trying to build more bases myself. I've been trying to become like the base builder myself, and I've learned the hard way how difficult it can be trying to manage elevation. Taking a look at Abyss's base, definitely on the smaller side when you consider the other bases in the area right now. They've got boobs just on the other side, and it looks like they might lose out on that elevation. Oh yeah, that's a massive elevation difference between Abyss and boobs. They have clear sight lines onto the roof line, so they're not going to be able to defend from up here, especially because they really don't even have that much cover.
No, you kind of wonder in these situations when you're looking at these builds, you go, it's kind of like the chicken and the egg. Like, who came first? Like, who was here first, Abyss or Boobs? Because obviously, at some point, somebody said, "Hey, I got the nuts. We're gonna build right here on top of them." Like, that's crazy close. These two teams.
Look at all the armor that's coming out for this boobs base right now. This is just it's going to be impenetrable roof, and so the defense coming out from the roof is going to be really good for them. Take a look at all the beds as well. So they are 100% just looking to top down, and that's the thing about the base invaders meta, right? In terms of how you design these bases, you don't have the extra respawns inside of the base. Because you can't really afford that space. You're using that for the extra hallways, the extra doors, to try and hide and sneak that TC in. So it's about maintaining this roof control, making sure you can fight from the top of your base and down.
So, like I said earlier, I think of all the bases we've seen yet so far, this Boobs base is really the one to be. And Boobs rule at the end of the day. So I just had to throw that out there. Thank you.
I was still actually, more of a fan of their other form in ass from earlier today.
Oh,
Just, I'm gonna say that myself. Just, yeah. Taking a look at another base, we got Aha. I love that they took the time to, inject some life into their base. They have a tree right there, smack dab in the middle. They took their time to also skin their doors. Oh, I love that ducky door.
it's so cute. And this is ha 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 ha. Ha.
At what point do you think, like, uh, I don't know, where like the meta evolves a bit more and you see like these bases covered in like rugs, right? Just to maybe soak up a little bit more splash, soak up a little bit more damage. Can you
Oh
imagine if
my.
like a team actually took the time to start putting up the rugs as well? Because then you get to actually customize a little bit more, right? These sheet metal doors, the armored, I mean, walls and these armored walls, of course, all look the same, but you have an entire world of decoration and customizing your base with rugs, guys.
Oh, don't give them any more ideas. That extra 15 minutes became the customization for no. Honestly, these builders, when you're in a team and you're playing alongside these builders, they are going mad. These are some of the best builders in this game. And for them to build this in the amount of time they have is just absolutely amazing. So, you know, getting rugs and those extras, they're not the easiest thing to pull off in Base Invaders for sure.
But it's a resource that doesn't really get used throughout the build phase. So you
Right?
will have extra. You will have extra. Wow. 3 minutes left here in the attack phase, and we see the patrol helicopter still alive throughout all of this, surprisingly enough, making its way across launch. But right now, we are looking at Masina with 3 minutes to go before the attack phase ends, trying to take control over this FXF base, but that rooftop peaks is proving to be way too strong for Masina to break through.
Yeah, I seen Masia pulling back and running, going, "Hey guys, if we can get this on the opposite side, if we can pull this heli." Now, I think somebody actually on the other side of the mountain has pulled it. They definitely have. Uh, Not 100% sure which team. Oh boy, this is gonna be
Oh
fun.
no.
Holy.
Is it going to be another NR take right
This
outside of
is
the hard
three
point?
teams. Look at them, three teams.
Oh, it's right on top of Tarantool's base. This is going to be nearly impossible for anyone to try and take. This has to be Tarantool's, and they need it right
No.
now because they're currently sitting in sixth place with 55 points and are clear and ahead the lead over the rest of the lobby. They have a full TC lead over Zalyava, but they have two TCs on top of Tarantool until they can take this. So this is going to be important for them.
Okay, there's going to be three things happening here. One, NR in the next 2 minutes, they're going to leave that hard point. That hard point is insignificant. This is going to be an all-out brawl at the front doorsteps of this Tarantal base for this heli. These guys have been wanting to PvP this whole time. This is nothing but an exciting moment for these three teams, and hopefully for us. This could be really cool.
Oh, there was one member of Terrence out there. It actually looks like Carrick is still there, alive for his squad, but Pivo are pushing out in full force to possibly try and counter this one. He has been cleaned up. Jack now pushing up with the help of 1, 2, 3 on that wide swing on the right hand side. Jack is a little bit low on HP, so he does have to be careful. But it looks like he was just running to loot up, actually. So no one was focusing him down. You don't get PvP points for a player that is just naked, that doesn't have a gun on them. Now he is basically set up to try and push the members of Pivo out. It looks like the rest of Pivo have actually backed away using this labyrinth of coverage from the walls to get back to their base. We got 1 minute remaining here in the attack phase before the boom starts commencing.
This is going to be interesting to see how these guys play. NR, I'm not sure what they're doing right now, but they're definitely planning something. In fact, they could throw rockets and put a great big dent into these guys and still try to get these heli crates as they try to push in on them. We don't know. This is so exciting. Jamerson, are you excited? I'm excited.
Extremely. Take a look at the position from Katrin. If he can actually find a gun, this would be huge as he's got a natural flank on so many members of Terranceville right now, but it looks like he is struggling to find any kind of equipment to work with, but he can get it. There's maybe 3, 4 PvP kills for him to come up against, but oh, he gets spotted out, runs away with about 10 HP, survives for the time being. Terranceville spots out one more. Tamada goes down. He almost takes out Kirito with that flick, but Kirito survives right now. Now you do have Kettering trying to push up. He's got some walls. He's got one cornered. Nolik will go ahead and try and take this peek. Kirito doesn't have any heals. He will go down. But here we go. The raid phase has now started. The hard point is gone. You can see, like you said, NR only left one person there to min-max and get as many points off of that as possible. And here is the first raid. No doubts about it whatsoever. The Abyss squad getting raided right now. Boobs are in their base.
So Boobs actually gave up a lot of PV points by holding on to this Abyss the whole time, saying we're going after this TC, we're going after those points. So hopefully it pays off from them. They're going fast and quick. They're trying to get into that core. C4 going off like crazy on that high qual, and they are definitely going to take control of the inside of the base quickly.
Yeah, they've got the loot room here, and this is absolutely massive. As they've got a lot of the advent calendar doors to deal with as well. For right now, we'll see if any teams can possibly come into counter. It seems like the boom has slowed down just a bit. Abyss trying to seal up with some doors for themselves, but I believe there still should be one Boobs member alive somewhere in here trying to chase after him. Yeah, there he is. White X now pushing all the way up to the roof. This could be massive. We can take this out for them. Unfortunately, though, the doors have been closed behind. He's still alive in here, though.
Yeah, Abyss. So there's multiple things that happen here. They didn't have the base complete. They had things open. There's not doors even going up. And on top of that, it looks like, oh, Rusty Boys was eliminated by NR. NR just coming right out of the gate. I guess they didn't even care about that heli crate. They went right to a raid and quickly eliminated those Rusty Boys. That was the base you were talking about earlier, Jameson. I'm pretty sure the Rusty Boys. They spotted that a mile away.
That was the tiny, tiny base that we saw earlier. Yeah. You know, this is Base Invaders. It's always going to be a learning curve. Now, as we join on board, Masina versus FXF. Their compound's already gone. Half their base on this side is already gone. The pummeling has commenced for the last 2 minutes now. They're about to get into core. But FXF, they're supposed to defend from the top. They have almost all of their members up. Canuto is on the low ground, though, as he's been spotted. Because they don't have the compounds, that's just an easy spray down. Gabo's going to try his best to stay alive. He's got a little bit of coverage utilizing those furnaces, but right now it is just looking like worms out here. Rockets from a distance from the rooftops. It's going to be a race to see who can get the TC first.
So FX did not do a good job. They actually should have the advantage here when it comes to raiding, but if you watch their rockets, they're not even making a dent in Massiana. They're missing more than they're actually hitting. They're actually jumping to try to shoot these rockets. They're going past the base. They can't see where they're showing. Massiana is clearly getting theirs, and they're lower. They don't even have the height elevation. They are really making quick work of this FX on this side.
Yeah, the accuracy is absolutely insane right now. They have gone straight into core while there's almost no damage on that side. They might have gone some inside and onto the roof, quite possibly. There's our second PC going down, though. Abyss, they got roof camped by Boobs. There was no way for them to actually fight back and defend on that raid. And that's going to propel Boobs up to third place now with 136 points. Remember, NR was able to get a TC for themselves. They were the clear leaders outside of the attack phase as well. So they're still maintaining that TC lead. they came out with out of that attack phase. Quick sealing coming out from FXF here as Masina on the other side, well, their base has taken almost no damage.
No, FX is having a really hard time. These is a horrible roof. No offense, FX. It's a horrible shooting roof. They should have the advantage here, clearly being able to shoot down on these guys. So you see that rocket went well over the base, and that's what 75% of these rockets aren't even hitting them.
Yeah, okay, we have to remember that on the Masina side, there's like 3 levels to their roof. So what they're hitting is just like armored wall on the inside of that roof. And it's not really making them that much progress. They are finding it very difficult. It's almost like they're shooting like free throw baskets at this point. And now we're finally starting to see that splash damage making some progress. But for both of these squads, for FXF or Masina, it's all about roof rocketing here. We did have a few members of FXF try to push out and push from the ground onto that base. Back over to 2 Woke. Remember, this was the squad that had a difficult time compounding off. They put up some walls here, but now these walls are actually being used against them. We'll have an opportunity to just set up a raid platform here, and this elevation just gives them almost free sight lines into the roof of 2 Woke.
So my question is, what's Boobs doing here? They successfully got a TC. Now they're back in their base. They're all jammed up. I don't see them being pushed. What are they doing over there? But anyway, they're there sitting chilling. 2 Wake, they definitely have a problem with these walls, like you said. Using all these to their advantage. Not really doing a lot of damage though. They only have 1 rocketer. You see usually in 7 multiple rocketers. So there's the other guy. He's on the. It's just a little slow. Just a little slower pace.
Yeah, I think for Boobs, I think they just have to kind of take stock of the loot that they got from their first raid, right? So you can see them all still back at home. No one's even really shooting out on the raiders here. There were a few members of basically on the side of Boobs' base along that compound wall. But for 2 Woke, they are just oh no, X-Pred.
Oh my god!
This was the other squad that we were a little bit worried for. We'll see how well this base can defend, but NR are in here. They are, I guess, reaching through the China wall. I don't know if you can actually classify this as a China wall.
I don't think so. I think it's just a wall. it's just a castle wall. That's all it is. And I mean, NR again. NR smart team. They're looking at these bases that they know. They're like, hey, these are weaker bases. We have to really, really, take advantage of these early gameplays. So this team knows what they're doing. This NR team.
Yeah. So there really isn't, too many places for this TC to be in. You have about 6 towers, and then I guess the core, which is wide open. So all indications for me is that there's no way the TC's in here, right?
I mean, the doors are open. The garage door. Guys, you want to hurt my heart? Leave those garage doors open. Holy. This NR team, again, just so. Oh, this guy's gonna open the door for him, and he comes out. They have no equipment left. This is a defender's worst nightmare. That you have no gun. You literally just face checking them gunless.
They've got all these bedrooms though. With I don't understand. They've got all the bedrooms with the lockers. Oh, I'll be honest. It's like this almost looks like a what are those?
Oh, he sealed him in.
Raidable bases.
He sealed him in. Did he not?
But for how long? The rockets are coming in. They're gonna work their way on through. NR go ahead and C4 their way through this now. Get a nice little bit of splash damage. So they only have to use that one C4 along with the splash from the rocket to get right through these garage doors, and they're making quick work of this base.
There he is. He's like, thanks for letting me out, guys. Thanks. That was cute.
Help me. I'm stuck.
I can only imagine the comms like, hey, guys, he sealed me. He sealed me.
Oh, there they go. They've got the roof now. This is just a matter of time. They should get it fairly shortly, but yeah, there was no way this TC was going to be inside of the core. So now they have to deal with all the outside tower walls or towers that it can be in, and so again, there isn't that much space. You can see they're now splitting up their forces I like the idea of these peaks, but this is 100% looking like one of those YouTube bases.
I still think it's cute. Does that count for anything? I think it's so cute. Um, I mean, I'm mad at NR. This is my princess castle. Like, I'm mad. Like, why are you hurting it? Stop. But no, it's as far as advantage goes, strategic and points wise, this is the perfect for them. And they are huge on top. They are 226 points. They get this 40 points. They're going to be 266. That's going to put them over 100 points ahead of the second peak.
What I don't understand is how they had the time to be able to scout out all these bases. How did they go from
Right?
base to base, find the right ones, find the weakest one, and continue to move on? We're only 10 minutes into this raid phase, and they're about to get their second TC. It's just a matter of time. There are very few doors in between them, and wherever the hell this could be.
They definitely, and they have no kits. These guys, we've watched the whole time. They have nothing to shoot back with. So, literally this poor team is just watching their base get destroyed by NR, looking desperately for that TC as fast as they can.
Yeah, the counter, though, is coming out from Zalyava right now. You saw a few members of NR going down. So what should have been an easy raid for them kind of got away, unfortunately, as there's only maybe 2 towers remaining here for this TC to be in, and Zalyava are on top of those towers right now, working their way on in. And another notable thing, I believe, one of the NR members had to regroup and basically restock with ammo and weapons, and they took him off of one of the bases. Oh, there it is. Zalyava able to steal that TC away from NR. Express have been knocked out. And that's going to help Zalyava quite a bit, push themselves only to a 31-point difference between them and our first place squad.
That TC and that steal was huge. NR is going to feel that burn. They are going to be angry after the amount they did put into them. Even though it wasn't a huge long time, they sunk a decent amount of their own to lose that. So they are going to be angry. We'll see what happens with that. And what is this? This is a new name. What is this? I can't even pronounce that.
Looks like Chi2's. Their base
G2s.
has been opened up on the side with Hog Riders coming in. Fax actually pushing up with Shadowfax. Show us the meaning of haste, and he gets on in. He doesn't seem to have a gun. There we go. We'll be able to find a body for himself. And it seems like G2s might have been able to push out a bit, slowing down the Hog Riders, but they are ready to start pushing into the breach. You can see Turks is up top right now, has to back off, but he is buying time for his squad to find some loot, find some guns to try and fight back. Turks, though, gets spotted. Fax through the slit inside of that door is able to take him out, and now things are looking really, really bad for Chi2's here. But the boom, where is the boom for Hog Rider?
There was one guy just took off on a horse. I'm not sure if he's going back base trying to get something, but does this Cheeto's base not look like FX base? Like when I first seen it, I was like, oh, we're back at FX, but it doesn't not look like a replica of FX, or am I crazy?
Fairly similar, fairly similar. I believe FXF didn't have as high of a core, so they had a few more levels to work with on the roof, but basically, yeah, you can see the 2 high walls on the outside of their roof right now. Ooh, armored door. Nope, not there, but it's a good attempt. And so now it looks like they're going to try and do a bit more of a targeted approach with the C4. You guys can see right through that window. There's nothing there. But hey, it's all about speed here in Base Invaders. It's about trying to find it as quickly as possible. Some bedrooms being found here inside of the core. And, oh boy, guys, this is going to take a while. Yeah, it might have just been better to C4 your way through. There we go. They spotted out. That's going to be an empty corridor. So if it's anywhere, it's going to be lower inside of the core of this base.
Yeah, I think they're realizing. Oh, that was a good try. Really good try by those, in a defense. They're, again, they are Where are you going? That is my question. These are these rating
they're just as confused as we are about the layout of this base. But they think that it's going to be in core, so they're putting a lot of resources into this. Now they do have the outer triangle shell, honeycomb hallways of doors, so it could be anywhere in there, but they're gonna, of course, put all of their efforts right now into just getting through the doors that they can see, and it's just more bedrooms after bedrooms. Here's a loot room for them as well. We'll see though. They're not really finding much, and I'm surprised with how long this has taken that no one's really come to try and counter this raid. Might just come down to the map geography.
Oh, 100%. I really not sure what the hog riders. I think they might be waiting on, like you said, more boom again. Because it doesn't, it kind of, they just kind of seem like they're on a standstill, looking around and really not knowing where are we going at now? Now we're trying from the outside. Oh,
Yeah.
I see. So the corner shoots.
Hmm.
Corner shoots are full of doors. Okay, no, this makes sense. Now I understand. And was that it? Oh, I had such a feeling it was gonna be there. I was just like, oh, we're gonna go see the TC. No.
Yeah, they have split up, so I'm glad that they're not sending everyone into core to try and deal with that. They do need to send some resources on the outside, deal with these shells, deal with these hallways. He's basically worked his way around this entire outside. Take a look. Boobs are here for their next raid, showing up in that scrappy. Like the defenders, I can't tell if it's defenders. No, it's hog raiders with full control over over this base. They're able to spot out the counter raiders coming in, and so you can see hog raiders are keeping their attention turned that way so that they don't let this raid get stolen from them.
Interesting he chose to go up there. I don't know why. Maybe he thought he had something I can't see, but he chose to go up there before going to the next door. So one of the rules of Base Invaders is your TC has to be behind a door, a window. It has to be clearly accessible. It can't be behind, boxed in any way. So just they hog riders are struggling. They're struggling to figure out where this TC is.
Yeah, and they've been uncontested on this raid. And so now the pressure is on. The pressure is on with boobs right outside. I believe they're still setting up the raid platform for themselves. They just flew in with the scrappy with it seemed like maybe half the squad. So the other members should be showing up fairly shortly here, finding some more C4 for himself, but that's just gonna go shoot straight out in to the peak down. So it does seem like the TC is going to be somewhere out here in the shell.
Hog riders have an impressive amount of C4 we've seen thrown in this thing, so they did a great job in farming up amazing amounts of C4. I am confused. I have no idea where this thing could be right now. This is pretty intimidating.
Yeah, this is the nice thing about like finding that early raid for yourself and having it like uncontested and being able to take the roof control, find all the loot rooms, because not only are they of course using their own boom, but they're able to utilize the boom of the base that they got into. This squad hasn't been able to leave their base whatsoever since the beginning. Hog riders now making quick work of it. They're still finding their ways through a lot of these corridors right now. And it's just trying to finish this before the counterers have an opportunity. You can see Yellen has actually pushed in, so boobs have some presence inside of the base right now. So this is not a free raid anymore for hog riders. You can see the counterers pushing in. And this is the scary predicament you put yourself in when you're not able to complete the raid in time.
This is a lot. I'm impressed. I mean, the more I was kind of thinking, wow, this is an easy raid. That it's got to be somewhere. The more I watch this and the more I look at these hallways you keep referencing, the way they go about doing it now, you can get really lost and confused.
Yeah, I mean, you expect, especially here in the sevens, right? That we were expecting a lot of pummeling with the rockets. That's the really nice thing when it comes to these larger group sizes. Equip everyone with like 2, maybe 3 launchers and a volley out of 6 players of 3, 4 rockets will quickly make short work of these outer shells. But it's been just all C4 on this base. And at some point, I mean, they're just running out of doors. You can see a few more have been found. So we'll see if hog riders can try to work their way back on in. But it seems like, yeah, boobs completely took over this raid. That's going to be Cheetos going down. Boobs coming in. And within the short minute, maybe 2 that they were here for the counter, they just absolutely stole it.
That's crazy. Good on Boo. That was an amazing, and again, me looking at that mathematically, I'm like, for rocketing, or sorry, 4 rocketing those walls and taking 4 squares at a time, probably the better and quicker move, but that was a ton of C4.
Now, as we go back over to Pivo's base, seems like multiple squads are here. Actually, we've got Zalyava on one side, Tarantul from the other, and possibly NR. Yep, 3 squads right now. So Pivo, this is where your base gets tested. You can see the rocket spam coming out, and that means Pivo cannot even contest on this side. That was a really good targeting coming out from NR on this raid, getting rid of that basically like shooting floor for Pivo. They can't peek here. It is not safe. Classic ends up going down. Really good game plan on this raid for NR.
Now, strategically, Pivo should have been the king of the hill here. You know, they have great height elevation. They had their shooting floor and everything. This shouldn't, you know, to think they were going to get targeted in this, I wouldn't have predicted this whatsoever. I thought they would have turned on one of the two on either side of them quicker than this happening. So, but these guys, they've been in a PvP battle since this thing started. And you can see in the numbers, Pivo, at the end of the day of the 3 teams, they really hurt the most. They didn't get as much points as the other team.
Yeah, this is another race, actually. As we saw before, Zalyava was able to steal one away from NR. This is another opportunity for Zalyava. If they steal this one, this will actually put them into the lead. So you can see the urgency that NR are rocketing with. They are making short work of this. It's very targeted. You can see how well that they're actually targeting these walls to make just this base into Swiss cheese.
I'm not really sure what Terran. Okay, they are. Okay, here they go. I was like, why don't I see more opening up on their side? Why is it so slow? I think they're not going as strategically as the other 2 teams necessarily, but I guess whoever's got the right side wins this one, right?
Yeah, I think the difference was that for NR, they prioritized getting rid of this roof. So Pivo can't peek here. Pivo can still peek onto the Tarantul side, on to the Zalyava side, and so that's where they can try to mount a defense. No Limit tries to go for a peek, 7 HP. He does make it back behind cover in time. He will get picked up by one of his squad mates. But you can see how much difficulty they face when they don't have their roof. Look at that, almost half the roof gone on this side.
Yeah, and if I was a betting person, just based on the reactions of Pivo, I don't think it's on the Terrafold side. I think it's closer to the NR corner / Ex-Lava. I think it's on that side. I want to say that corner there. They are really concerned. You see them all focusing on this corner here and trying to get these guys to stop rocketing. That's just my guess.
NR though, they've basically controlled this side of the base, and they have pushed into the breach. We have RPD inside right now, trying to make his way through with the C4. And with how much armor there is in the core, there's a high chance that this TC is actually inside of the core.
It could be. It wouldn't be the first time. And again, look at all these doors open. My heart, but that's fine. Maybe somebody will spawn and click them and track them or something.
Okay, Pivo trying to push out. Unfortunately, losing out on one. There it is.
Nice push.
That's going to slow things down just a little bit, but that's not going to slow the rocket spam. You can see how much work has been put on this side of the base. This is set on 3 sides right now. This is just a matter of time. People won't even have an opportunity to try and push out. Their compound has been fully compromised here. Tarantul have pushed in, NR pushed into the breach. Now it's all up to Zalyava to make their presence known inside as well.
Yeah, Tarantul, now they've gotten multiple rockets. Oh my god!
There it is!
They got it! I was completely wrong. Completely. That is amazing.
Wow, that's huge for Tarantul because that slows the momentum of both Zalyava and NR, who are our current top 2, and that propels them up to the top 4. So Tarantul getting their first TC of the raid phase. Now they have to figure out where are they going to go next for FXF. And I'm trying to remember who the other squad was on the other side of this. Masina, they've just been rocketing each other from across the ways, but now Masina are getting sandwiched in. Hog Riders with the ultimate high ground have perfect sight lines into their roof.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, Jamerson. FX though, I mean, we've seen this base. This base was getting hurt earlier. It's really a lot different scenario now, isn't it? Where we see Massiana, they look like they got a little more damage to them than FX does.
Yeah, the way the rockets were finding their way into the base was just hitting inside of the rooftop. Maybe they were dealing with some spawns with the rocket splash. But right now, this is looking like it's a free approach for Hog Rider. FXF have pushed out. They're into the compound of this base. We have about 3 members inside. Masina are waiting on these few respawns here. Good defense. Wow. All of the members of FXF that tried to push in have gone down. Ooh, we've got a scrappy sighting. We'll see if they turn for this one as, yeah, more rockets coming out from that Masina squad to try and deal some damage to FXF. But at some point, someone has to notice that Hog Riders have creeped up on them. I don't know if they have actually been spotted out because they have been able to push up even down this hill. And here it is now, the rocket volley coming out from Hog Riders.
Yeah, Massiana, something happened while we were gone. They had the advantage. FX base looked like it was completely opening up on that side. Mad work. I don't think the rockets stopped while we were gone. So FX was able to seal that up, and they look like they're in a better position. But Boobs is actually going to come on the back side of them. Are they going to start after FX? That'll be the real question. While Hog Rider's pushing in a Massiana on this side. Oh my gosh, Jamerson.
Yeah, this is where Masina have to be able to take stock of what's going on, what's happening on the map right now. If they saw that scrap heli landing on the other side of FXF, they need to know that they have to turn their attention over towards the Hog Rider side, and it looks like that is what they're doing. Doshirak, along with Laze, have basically transitioned over to this side of the base. Flop tried to push out. He's at 18 HP. Hog Rider's pushing in. He gets cleaned up. Now Hog Riders have some presence outside of the compound. Now they haven't C4'd their way in quite yet, but they were a little bit slow on the respawn. Take a look at how much damage that they are taking. And now this rocket pummel making short work of this side of the base.
Hog Rider's doing a lot better on the ground on this base than we've seen them do in the other base. Again, like you said, they're making such quick work on this side. I'm not quite sure. We've seen one Hog Rider push up to the left and wrap around. He's wrapping around the back end side. I'm not 100% what he's doing, but Don's going after him. You see him on the outside walls kind of, oh, no, never mind. He went back home. So, again, Hog Rider's looking like a completely different team going after this base.
There's still some presence outside for Masina, though. You got Fescarn and Dawn ready to push out as a 2-man to try and defend here. They've also got Laze outside, so they're not contained into their base. So that's a really good sign for them, but they don't have the walls. Oh my goodness, as 2 of them try to peek on the right side. There, drops extremely low. 48 HP for Fescarn. It looks like he's picking up Dawn right now. But the fact that they were able to poke their heads out at least gives pause to Hog Riders. Taking a look at the other raid that's taking place, just 50 meters away here on FXF. Here is the pummel starting from that Boob squad. They are working on this corner right now. They have a nice little spread of walls on the outside. Are there counters coming in? Oh no, they spotted out one person over by a launch site, easily dispatching of him. FXF, Garu, trying to push out for himself, but he is that lone man. He needs someone from inside to start shooting to draw some attention away from him.
Yeah, I'm shocked we don't see a blood platform. That was the first thing I thought. I was like, Boobs coming here, are they one-lifing, are they playing off bags? Like, I don't see a bed platform, so they're taking a big risk. If FX was to come out and actually wipe them, they would quickly... Oh, we have a Hog Rider! Look at him! Look at the Hog Rider! Where is he at?
He's in there somewhere. I don't know.
He's in there! What are they doing?
Okay,
oh, is he outside? Okay,
yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
I was like, how did they get in there?
Well, speaking of how did they get in here, look at Yogi right now, or Yogi.
Look at Yogi!
Rated, but he doesn't care. He's gonna try and get involved in this, and you know what? I love it because we saw, I believe, Dawn from Masina be able to do this earlier. While his base was getting raided, he was actually countering a raid solo and was able to snipe away a TC. So you got to try and take every opportunity here in Rust.
Yeah, Yogi's totally like, my team's got this. My base got this. I'm gonna get you, FX. You know, I love the confidence. I love it.
Yogi, no!
And he found him. They found him.
Yeah, that's such a weird engagement where like both of you are climbing up honeycomb and run into each other. That's definitely not something that happens often. Back over at the Masina base, looks like Hog Riders have been slowed down just a bit. Toshirak is trying to push out. He's gonna meet contest in just a moment. 42 HP, he will fall. They still have Feskarn on the outside right now, so it's not the freest of raids. As Feskarn finds a nice little spray down, takes out Kuzmo, but he is still behind cover. It looks like Wildberry will be able to get him up, wall down, and that's going to be a safe res for him. Hog Riders, though, still controlling the outside of the compound right now, trying to control any access point in and out of this so that Masina cannot continue to get people outside. A lot of their roof coverage has been dealt with, so they really can't try and fight back from out there. Hog Riders are doing a great job of keeping them contained inside of their base.
Yeah, I'm surprised AvX has not pushed out. Oh, they
Oh,
were eliminated just like that. Boobs, lucky TC. They didn't even have to breach. They got it from the outside.
and now they have the opportunity just to pivot instantly onto this raid counter. Hog Riders currently, as yeah, I mean, the geometry works out perfectly for them, right? Because Hog Riders on the opposite end of this base, so if they want to, it could just be another base race kind of proposition. A lot of this side has already been damaged. We saw FXF, roof rocketing to try and deal with this base. So they might have an early head start on this raid, but Hog Riders now have recommenced their boom. They have dealt with a lot of this outside. Masina, it seems like a lot of them have been actually sent back towards their spawn, and so things are looking more and more dire for Masina.
Okay, I had to go look at who's on the boobs team, and it makes sense now. As you were saying that, they got that one TC, they didn't even blink. They didn't even stop. They started running towards this Massianda base, as you were even saying. They were able to pivot. Seeing who it is and how skilled they are in their rating, I get it now. What an opportune time for them. Hog Riders potentially won't know what hit them in a few minutes.
The scary part right now for Boobs, though, is that you've got Yogi in your back line. You see Yogi is actually still over at that FXF base. If he can find some boom, if he makes his way over towards their like raid platform, I saw some people actually respawn over there. He can basically just end this raid. He can end this raid and defend at least on that Boobs side. But Masina still have to deal with Hog Riders on the other. Hog Riders are actually currently inside of their base right now. They pushed into the breach. Yellen's trying to find a way in. I don't know if he's actually inside the base. He is. So we've got two separate teams inside of the Masina base currently, and you can see they're just trying to race for this TC. The C4 is going down, getting through the walls, getting through the doors, and Masina slowly losing control over this.
Yeah, like Hog Riders really must be in here just scrambling, going, guys, we were here. This is our TC. We have to find this now. Knowing that Boobs is now here and challenging them. This is a race. This is what, oh my gosh, this is fun, Jamerson.
Yeah, speaking of, I mean, take a look at how close the scores are right now, Kaylee. In our top three, Boobs and NR are currently tied, 264 with Zalyava right behind them by about 12 points. Tool about 2 TCs off, but they can definitely catch up. We still have 57 minutes here in the raid phase, so anything can happen.
This has been intense. We are only a half an hour and a couple minutes in. This has been so intense. It's been nonstop action. This has been far from boring. I see people in chat looking for signups. The best way you can do this is join the Discord. Join the Base Invaders Discord. You can stay up to date with all the announcements. It tells you the team size, the rules, where to sign up, when. It's the perfect resource to go to figure out this event. Look at these guys. These guys are pummeling this poor base.
Oh, White Axe ends up getting taken down there, but he still has a few teammates inside right now. As Hog Riders, they might have been actually cleared out of this. You can see them respawning on the outside, trying to make their way back on in. But yeah, want to take a moment, of course, to shout out our sponsors, Rusty Pod. Without them, none of this would be possible. And of course, the Rustoria Servers for being able to put this on week in, week out, and giving us the opportunity, the amazing opportunity of being able to cast these games. It's been an absolute pleasure. Here we go. 56 minutes, Kaylee. And now Boobs are still deep inside of this space. 123 has found some C4 for himself, and he will continue to make his way through the space.
Yes, and it's, in the back of my head, and we're not gonna leave this, but in the back of my head, you gotta be wondering what NR's doing. NR knows the score, they know who's on their tail and who just passed them. They gotta be doing something efficient. It'll be interesting when we find out that too.
Yeah, the thing is, remember, they got two really easy raids, right? One got sniped. Zalyava was able to snipe away that X-Prez, but getting that first early TC, getting that first early raid usually means you can snowball quite heavily. Stealing all the boom from that first raid and move on to the next one. I wonder how much of a loss they actually took when they ended up losing out on that X-Prez raid earlier on.
It hurts. It hurts when you're in the Discord and you felt like this was your raid and somebody at the last second comes in. It totally hurts the mental. You gotta pick yourself up and keep going. Oh, Massiena making good work. Oh, but it was short lived.
Yeah, I don't know how people do it. I cannot. For the life of me, kill anyone through those like hatches. I just can't. I don't know. But hey, those are our players. These are guys that come in, week out, here for base invaders, show up and show how good their AK spray and control is. They're proving it right now. Masina, it was a 2v1 to take him out. Wait, no, Hog Rider coming in for the counter. Oh, what is going on? It's absolute mayhem inside of this Masina base.
Hog Riders is not giving up. They were here first, and they're going to show both teams that they're not leaving. Great work. We see a ton of C4 just popping off here. Oh, look, we opened up. Look at the stat. Look at that stat.
Oh my goodness, so much boom.
And
like
again,
someone was trying to like hide that boom, but not for
right.
long. And I think there might be a Hog Rider player actually pushed out onto the Boobs raid platform. You can see, yeah, they're taking a lot of damage over there. It's going to be player 714, actually. And that's drawing a lot of attention away. You can see White X had to spawn all the way back at their original raid platform. So Hog Riders have been able to deal with the counter raid, and now they are back inside. That does leave an opportunity for Masina to try and defend here. But they don't have any builders right now. They don't have anyone really on the roof. So this is a really awkward state in this raid.
You see Yogi in the depths of things in there. That's all. He's like, nobody's coming in this base. So they've actually done a really good job. If you look at this, there's Hog Riders aren't in there. Boobs aren't in there. This is their base. It might look like Swiss cheese, but this is their base stuff.
All right, Masina have been able to expel a lot of the people that were able to push into the breach. Oh, there's a counter coming out from Tarantul, and it's onto the Hog Rider's side. Yeah, look at that. Garrett is right on top of the raid platform. He just needs to find some boom. He can get rid of them, and now they can try and steal this raid away.
These Hog Riders, they have not had an easy day, right? They're fighting for everything they do today, it seems. So it looks like Tarantul is free looting anything they can find, trying to take it from them. They haven't destroyed the beds yet, so we'll wait and see what happens there. Yogi, though. Yogi coming out to challenge on the right-hand side. So whether he knows these guys help him is yet to be determined, but Yogi goes down.
Wait, I'm wondering if he just cleared the beds and then just set up, like, just absolutely just completely stole the raid platform. I think that's actually what happened.
Maybe.
How often does that happen where you get your raid platform stolen and commandeered by another full squad?
I mean, this is part of Base Invaders. If it can happen, we're going to see it. These guys figure out everything we've learned. Everything. Every trick in the book, these guys have figured out. We have changed the rules since the inception of this game so many times just to get around all these little snafus they seem to find. But yeah, no, these, Masina, they are doing an amazing job. They still have their base. They are still fighting. They still have weapons to fight with. So they are actually doing an amazing defense job.
Yeah, it seems like they might have repaired a little bit, or I'm not entirely too sure exactly where Hog Riders were booming for. There's still a lot to repair on this side, but they do at least, have someone on that effort. And here it is. Now the boom coming out from Tarantul, who are currently sitting in 5th place right now. They have 191 points. They're 100 points off from Boobs. But if they make sure that boobs do not get this TC, if they get it themselves, now they definitely put themselves in the running. There's 15 minutes remaining here. We're now down to 8 squads remaining. I wonder what Ahaha and 2 Wake have been doing. We got to see them a little bit earlier on, but since then, it's been largely quiet from those.
Yeah, and NR again, they're keeping up pretty much with the point system. They're 14 points off, but you see those PvP points coming up with them as well. So that said, they're doing work somewhere, just like these guys are here.
All right, boobs are back on in. They had to reestablish themselves, and I saw maybe 5 members having to spawn all the way back at their original raid platform that was outside of the FSF base, but they were able to regroup. They're back inside. 1, 2, 3, White X and a few other members are inside right now. The C4 going down. And this is the point of the base. It's about just buying time. It's about being difficult to work your way through all these hallways, forcing out a lot of C4. I don't even know if that wall goes anywhere, but hey, yeah, I guess you have to take every opportunity at this point, especially when you know you're in a race, when you've got 2, maybe 3 other squads trying to counter you here. You have to try and get it. The urgency for boobs, they understand that they don't have a comfortable lead over NR on top. They need this TC.
Yeah, and you see, you know, these guys know each other. These 2 teams, this Massiana team and this Boobs team, they've played with each other. They played against each other. They are having fun the whole time this raid's going on. This is the ultimate friendly grudge match, so to say. So the amount of doors in this base is just phenomenal.
It doesn't leave much in the way of like respawns inside of the base, but that's why we saw so much focus being put up top. And Masina was eliminated. Tarantul was able to steal one, and that's going to push them up into 4th place right now. 236 points. That's going to stop the snowball of boobs. Remember, boobs showed up. They were able to take that FXF base on the other side and then try to really quickly rotate over for another raid, but they got slowed down. Someone was able to get on top of the raid platform. And now, taking a look at what's going on with NR, they have been targeting Zalyava. That's our 3rd place squad, who aren't really that far off. They're, that's 29 points difference between them and boobs currently. So, yeah, this is a really good target for NR. If they get rid of them, this is one of the major threats.
100%. Now, am I not mistaken, just going back to what just happened there, that Tarantul raid, was that the 2nd TC they took without even having to breach the compound? Am I mistaken in saying that?
Yeah.
I think
I
so.
think they got the rocket snipe earlier, yeah.
Right. So they're doing an amazing job. And I think that's 4 TCs total we've seen sniped over, you know, the first team showing up and putting the work in and then just being taken in the last few minutes.
Yeah, half the TCs that have gone down have basically been stolen by a late arrival counter raid. Zalyava trying their best to push out from this base, but you can see that NR still have some presence here as Hollow is basically trying his best as a one man on the outside, but he ultimately ends up going down. That's going to be a lot of space created for NR. One member of Zalyava has spawned outside, but he was instantly dispatched by Rafiki, and they will go ahead and continue to make this work for themselves. Oh, concerned on the outside, but he's on 6 HP. He might have already gone down, so that's going to allow them to keep rocket pummeling. A lot of outside bag spawns here for Zalyava, but I don't know if they're going to be able to do anything with these.
So this is a proximity raid, if anything else, because this was not an easy raid for NR to choose. You know, this is a chunky base. These are PvPers as well. We've seen them fight back. They're really close in points. Look at that seal. That's impressive. Love that. They literally, because they were the closest, turned on these guys. Not necessarily was it the best point decision.
You can see that there is that grace period. When you're trying to seal, your builds do not come in with full HP. That's why that rocket was able to deal with 4 fresh walls. One was a door frame. They were able to deal with that. So it's at least delaying things. So I still like that they're making that effort to try and seal up for themselves. Zalyava Hollow tries to push up out from the left-hand side. He has been spotted by Rafik. And there's one more member of RN out there, but Hollow has stayed alive. It's going to be important for him to stay alive because the rest of his members are trying to flank from the other side. You can see Concerned and one more on the right pushing out. Zalyava with the flank. NNN, does he have anything? He is full HP. Oh, never mind. He was full HP and he got absolutely beamed there. But
Look at this wide flank, Jamerson. This is a wide flank. They are trying really hard and looking at the weakest. I think they're trying to get to that bed platform. I think they're trying to push in, clear out these people, get to that bed platform in hopes that they stopped it.
Yeah, Zalyava were able to spot out when they had the opportunity to push out. That's why you have to be determined in not being contained into your base. Once you're contained into your base, that's almost half the raid lost. And so they constantly send people out. Pobedi is out here with the help of Conrep right now. Pobedi gets taken out though. That's a nice little spray down from Vlad. He is getting wide flanked. Take a look at this. You got members of Zalyava pushing completely out while the builders inside are still maintaining that presence, maintaining their ability to just continue to put down walls and make sure that this pummel doesn't make that much progress. There we go. We got more walls down. They're upgrading as well. But again, it's only blocking one or two rockets that are not hitting core.
Like this right here, that Vladdy, I don't know if you noticed him on the right-hand side. He's making quick work of this team. He said, nah, not today. And he killed every one of them almost on the right-hand side by himself.
Yeah, for Rainer, he's just on base duty as NR are slowing down on this raid. Hollow has pushed out. Wizard! Oh, he makes some magic work there for his squad. Did he get a second one? He did! Stays alive with about 12 HP, will heal up for now. And NR, they are currently on the back foot. Take a look at the flank coming out from Concerned as well. The multi-pronged attack onto this raid platform for now as Wizard about to get a second kill. No, the help from RPD will keep friends up, but for how long?
Wow, this guy has no idea what's coming at him. He's going to be pinched between two.
Toxical tries to run back naked, but he gets instantly taken down. Now taking a look at another raid that's going on to Wake. We saw this base getting raided earlier on. We were talking about the shape of the compound and how difficult it was. It kind of made something work here in this. I don't even know how they were able to pull this one off, but they got a semblance of a compound down. But here it is. It's going to be some roof rocketing coming out from the other side as multiple teams are starting to show up. Ahaha might be coming over here. It's going to be Boobs. Went all the way back to their spawn. We're currently only with an 8-point lead over NR on top, but oh my goodness, this is a huge pummel.
This is amazing, Boobs. We have like 5 to 6 rocketers on their roof, literally just throwing rockets. This is what 7-man base invaders looks like. We're used to anyway. This is just nothing but a pummel fest coming from the Boobs side. They need these points. They need to pull ahead. NR is still on their tail and they know it. The question is, are they going to lose another raid due to the fact they have another team on the opposite side able to come in and potentially, I mean, if the TC's on the other side, there's nothing you can do. You can't move and pivot the side of the base you're on.
Yeah, imagine if you could just rotate your base.
Right?
Right now, it looks like they are almost into core here with almost no response whatsoever from 2 Wake. I'm wondering what they're doing right now. You don't even see anyone on that side of the roof to possibly even try and shoot back.
No, I mean, I think they're just overwhelmed with the amount of rockets coming at them. Again, I'm pretty sure, and we'll know what the score. Let's look at the score. 2 Wake. It might have fallen down a couple times based on the score change I see, but they've been raided almost this whole raid phase, almost. So they've had a lot of stress for this whole event so much.
I'm not sure. Need confirmation if Gigi asked us for a quick break. We'll find out in just a moment here. But right now, looks like Boobs have shown up, and yeah, we're gonna go ahead and take a short break for our production staff. We will be right back as we continue on with Base Invaders here, presented by Rustoria Servers and sponsored by Rusty Pot. So don't go anywhere, guys. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Base Invaders here. We took a short little break and we are back to this raid on the two-wake base currently. And it does seem like, they're dealing with the people that have been able to breach in, but White Axe is still in. He has been determined. Dropped a little bit low, but it looks like he will survive for now.
Yeah, 2 week when we went to break, they had been continuously raided. The whole time we're on break, they're raided. These guys have to be tired inside. What a fight though they're putting up in, with having so many people coming in and boobs right now, going through these doors. They're inside, they're trying to flush any place out this TC could be, but there's still so many spaces.
Yeah, this is actually a real big opportunity for Boobs because we know that currently, of the top three teams of NR, Boobs, and Zalyava, NR and Zalyava are dealing with each other. NR is trying to raid Zalyava right now, and for Zalyava, that's just a full-on 1v1, 7v7. They're not dealing with extra raiders. So for now, while those two are tangled up dealing with each other, this is Boobs' opportunity to get a TC where while the others won't.
And Boobs, when we went to break, I'm pretty sure they were on top. Am I not mistaken, Jamerson? So NR is getting a lot of more PvP points in the raid they're in, which makes sense because right from the start, that Zaliana team, that it's been nothing but PvP. This one, I think 2-wake is a little drained. They're not able to pick up guns. You don't see a lot of defense. So all those kills they're getting in people aren't necessarily counting towards point.
Yeah, I think it might actually work against NR, who are the raiders, and Zalyava are the defenders, because if NR don't get that TC and they spend the next 30 minutes continuing to try to take out Zalyava, that's just going to be full raid defense points for Zalyava, which would actually put them above NR at the end of the raid phase if it comes to it, if NR can't actually finish off that raid. Now, White has to be careful. Aha is in here. Lennox is in here right now. He's going to turn the corner. Oh, he had the rocket out, unfortunately, for White X. And he tried to be the bigger man. He tried to not go for the rocket PvP, pulled out his AK. But that's what happens when you try to have honor here in Rust.
That was a great play by 2-wake. He's going to want to remember that. Or was it Haha?
Yeah, that was Haha. That was
sorry,
Lennox.
It was
that was able
Haha.
to take out White.
Yes, so Haha, that's a great clip. I need to point that out. Again, these guys, this base, this poor 2-wake, they got everybody in there but themselves.
And they do have a lot of beds up here at the very least, so they're not on the worst of like bag timers. So you can see them continually respawn. I think at this point though, it's just like finding the loot, right? Trying to find guns for themselves. Oh boy.
Look who's here, Jamerson. Look.
Yeah, for Zalyava, when it was just a full-on 7v7 up against NR, that was a doable defense. Now this is a huge opportunity. With Zalyava's defenses being pulled apart, having to be stretched across two different sides of their base, this is NR's opportunity to actually get this TC. Raynor is still on build duty. This man, for the last 20 minutes, has just been repairing his base. You can see more walls going down, but I don't think he can actually reach those walls to upgrade those, but it can still eat a rocket at the very least. That's going to allow NR now to push into the base. Toxical is in here with the C4.
So, Tarantul here again at another raid. Now, if they get this TC, let's just do the math. They're not going to come into first here. They're going to be competitive. They're going to be within another TC points. But all they're going to do is actually hurt NR at the end of the day. And especially, of course, help me, Jamerson. I can't even pronounce it. Zalyava. They, poor Zalyava, they lose their TC. They're out anyway. But they are such a thorn in the side of these raiders, this Tarantul team. So many teams today.
Yeah, I mean, if they get the TC, that puts them about 20 points off from both NR and Boobs. And, that's like if they get the TC without any extra PvP kills. But of course, just by the nature of these raids, you will get PvP kills along the way. So this is a huge opportunity. Tarantul, even though it looked like it was a three-way race between NR, Boobs, and Zalyava for the longest time here throughout the raid phase, Now, this could be a huge shift in momentum for Terran to actually put their name in the running and also knock out one of the major competitors here in the top 3.
Yeah, they really they still gonna need that TC though, another TC to actually pull ahead. It will keep them, like I said, competitive, but they're not because they're not making these pushes. They're only throwing the rockets from the outside. They're not getting. You don't see them moving as much in the points that you do. NR, for instance, who's desperately trying to push in and take the guns out of those guys that are in the base. But again, does Tarantul swoop this from the side and just pick the right side? I mean, 3, that would be impressive.
Yeah, this is such an interesting base design too. They've got that hexagon core on the inside right now. And like you said, Tarantul are just going to continue the rocket pummel. But when you don't have that same presence, when you don't have someone, making their way through these doorways with the C4, you are at a huge loss in terms of tempo when it comes to these raids. But they're going to stick with it. It's worked out for them multiple times. They were able to rocket snipe TCs, so they're hoping for that basically long Hail Mary play. Now, Egg, as he tries to push in, he gets instantly melted.
He's regretting running that angle for sure. And again, Wizard, you mentioned Wizard on the outside. We see some great plays on the outside of this base. You see him doing quick work of people on the inside. Vladdy, that's a good, right there is a good combo. Wizard against Vladdy. Wizard's coming back though. He actually went down and he's coming back in. I thought he was in the center. It's so hard to tell sometimes from these AL streams.
Yeah. For NR on top though, they are trying to send a lot of people into this breach, but a good number of them have actually been cleaned up. Zalyava really utilizing that high angle, utilizing that roof to defend. That's what we were talking about with these bases. What? There it is!
They did it again. They did it again.
Tarantul now in 3rd place. They knock out Zalyava, who were in 3rd. They still have more points than them, but they have pulled themselves within 25 points of NR on top. They are in top 3. They're also 24 points away from Boobs. This is huge. Now, if they can just, I don't know, catch up with PvP, they can definitely catch up.
Yeah, 100%. This brought them to be competitive and also hurt NR. That's what it did. It hurt NR more than it helped Tarantul. Tarantul still has a chance. There's still 30 minutes. There's a lot of time here, but they have to get another TC in order to try to get that win. 100%. Now, NR is going to be sitting there. That's 2 they've lost. That is 80 points they've literally been stolen from today. They're going to be angry and they're mental. I can't even imagine. But Boobs, what are they up to? Are they still... Wait, where is everybody? 2 Weeks pretty quiet right now. What's going on?
Hog Riders have actually shown up here to try and raid Boob's base. It looks like a small volley of rockets were able to get some of that wall dealt with, but Boobs have pulled off from that raid. Unfortunately, that's going to be, I believe, Ahaha now with a free raid onto 2 Wake. But like you said, Kaylee, 2 Wake have been doing a great job of defending. And Ahaha have lost out on some presence. You can see that Voxy is outside on that raid platform right now to try and deal with it. What happened to Hog Riders? Why is their raid platform all the way back there?
I'm not sure what happened here. All I know is their Boobs literally stopped raiding to deal with these guys, these Hog Riders coming in. 2 Wig looks like they were able to seal up the side that Boobs was coming in. This is a lot of walls. There's a lot of, but that's another thing. Boobs, that's a PvP team. Those aren't just raiders. Those are PvPers. There's just some really good PvPers in the game of Rush. So Hog Rider, having to do a lot of work here, weaving in and out of these walls in order to get, here comes Nikita. Nikita hears him. He hears him. He knows he's in the wall. And he's got him.
And importantly, if 2 Wake can hold on to their base, that leaves the opportunity for anyone to try and maybe counter raid onto the Boob squad. It decreases the chances, right? When you have another raid going on the other side. So Boobs can just basically isolate this fight out against Hog Riders. And they honestly welcome the raid because they get PvP, they'll get defense points as well. So this is actually pretty big for Boobs, who just before they started getting raided, they were only 2-3 points above NR. But the PvP alone here put them 15 points above. So this is actually a godsend for boobs.
I would say they got a raid defense, like you said. That points right there, minimum 10 would have pushed them up. And again, the PvP points. So that, Hog Rider's really helping them out as far as that, strategically gaining them more points. Again, two-way kind of just, dealing with Ahaha still on that opposite side. They really, Hog Riders helped two-way too. I mean, they were able to get boobs off their backs and really focus up on Ha now, who's still going at.
I believe they had some raiders inside of their base, but they were able to clear them out in that regard. A lot of the beds, though, on the rooftop are now gone. So Two-Wake might actually be on bag timers here. So it looked like, in this war of attrition is finally starting to get to Two-Wake. If they can get up full as a 7-man and push out, that would be a huge opportunity for them. But Foxy is pushing up to the bottom of their base right now. Just free rocket pummels coming out from Ahaha. They don't even have like full coverage on their raid platform. Take a look. Only half that raid platform is covering their beds. One good rocket could really slow down this raid if Two-Wake can get a rocket up top onto their roof.
See, there's no TC on this side. All this side of the compound has no TC. So everything is up for decay and all walls have an increased decay. This raid's been going on a while. This has been going on probably, since raid block fell. So, I mean, we're a good 40 minutes off this base. A lot of things that wasn't in TC range are going to disappear. Thank God, their own base isn't disappearing because the TC is still there.
But the base might disappear now that Ahaha have actually pushed in. Two-Wake is actually putting in a lot of effort to seal on the boobs side. So that could be indicative of where the TC is if they're really kind of forgetting about what Ahaha is doing on this side. But also, there's only 2 members of Two-Wake up right now. It's going to be Forgive Me and well, I guess not Vertile. But yeah, they need to get their numbers up. Foxy ends up finding one, taking him out. They're now just almost out of complete spawns. There's 2 beds on the roof remaining. I can't imagine there are any more bedrooms inside for them. Wait, 3, 4, never mind. I just saw the extra beds, but no one's respawning.
No, and again, they're going to have multiple respawns in the base. You have to. There's no choice, especially in these big raids. I laugh because Forgiving came in. You see him running around there. He got in the door on 15 HP with a bleed. He's now at 12. He's down, desperately crawling down there. Oh, he got picked up, so he's coming back up. We see that. This Lennox has been making work of things today. So him on top of the roof, that is not a good place. You do not want to have Lennox on your roof.
Yeah, they're just top downing at this point, but oh! Finds the moment. Forgive Me is able to peek the roof, and he does spot out Foxy, but Foxy doesn't take any damage there. Actually takes him out himself. So quick response coming up from Foxy to at least maintain that roof control for them, but they note that is the opportunity. Forgive Me spawns up top. He's going to try and find a gun for this defense. The Vertile is up here as well, but he gets instantly taken down. Two-Wake starting to maintain some presence up here, starting to get their respawns in. Ghost, as he spawns on his bag, he gets taken out. I don't even know from what angle. It's Foxy utilizing their peaks against them.
This is a great fight. I mean, Two-Wake, you don't see it in the points, you really don't. But the fact that they've had so many different teams come into this base and try to take them out and they're still standing, they're doing a great job, really.
Oh, Tarantul on the lurk. They don't even have the raid platform down quite yet, but they have quite a wall set up for themselves. There's a lot of preparation for not having a raid platform. Are they just putting down bags for this?
I mean, if Tarantul comes in and picks the right side and go again, I mean, that's just unbelievable. Unbelievable. Like, I don't think anyone is that lucky, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah, Egg is inside of the base too. He might be the member with C4. Never mind. Obligate was able to spot him out. So they take out one threat, but they still have to deal with the rocket pummel right now. And it is a little slow goings for Tarantul. They don't seem to have the same amount of rockets here for this one. but they're not getting countered. They're able to just free fire for the time being. Ahaha, though, are still inside of the base right now, but they're not getting too much progress. You can see how much the triangles are slowing them down, dealing with a lot of the extra walls, the splash damage, not getting as much value for them. So this two-way base is still putting up a great defense.
So Hog Riders look like they've been flushed. I don't see them any. It could be rendered, but I'm pretty sure we see all the Boobs members. They're pulling back into their base. Terran Tool is going to be the closest to the proximity wise. Look how much they've taken over. Ah ha 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 ha. That guy is pinned there in the middle. I think Boobs is going to be the determining factor of what happens here next, depending on how if they decide. Yes, they are. Okay, they're moving. I think they're going to either go and target the side of the base they're on and start raiding, or you're going to see them pivot and go towards that Terran Tool and try to take them out and then start to raid. That's, in my mind, what we might see happen.
Yeah, but they need to be fast. They need to start rocketing because there were some repairs on that side, on the Boobs side of the base. And I imagine at this point, the walls have basically full healed themselves. And so they're back to square one in this race up against Terran Tool, who have been just demons somehow when it comes to sniping these TCs. And they're going for another miracle play. They are currently in the top 3. They are 50 points off, 49 points off from Boobs. So it's not set in stone yet. They need the TC and some PvP kills. They have the time to do it. 20 minutes remain here in the 7v7 PvP.
And again, Terran Tool, we're watching them all along get the raids in, but they're not getting. I'll be interested to do scoreboards afterwards at the end of this. They're not getting those PvP points, so they're getting those base points from the raids, but we're not seeing those games to creep up to keep them competitive like we do see in the PvP scores that are coming out of Boobs and NR, for instance. So just different styles and what your strengths are in this game again, but Terran Tool, like, oh, we got a bunch of C4. Who's throwing all this C4? It's hard to tell. I think it's, who is this? It's so hard to tell.
Here's some more C4 going down right now. Don't know if it's there are so many people inside of the base. We saw, right? I believe Terran Tool push in, Ahaha are still here as well. Uppagate has been inside of this base for like the last 10 minutes now. It looks like Foxy is a new arrival into the base. And so 2 still have to deal with that, but yeah, this space design is so fantastic. Egg caught, he's stuck inside of that hallway. Unfortunately, doesn't have a ladder on him, it seems, but Terran Tool are still going uncontested on this. They're getting some free rocket fire. Now, forgive me, he might have an angle onto them. He's looking for it, but he's been spotted. Hasn't taken any damage. That door eating up a lot of those bullets. But there it is. Egg on a ladder. We'll start pushing up and going into the core of the base right now. Voxy is outside in the compound. He's going to try and push out, but oh, he gets instantly crunched.
This is war. That's what that is. That is war. I just posted for everyone the Discord in the Twitch chat if you want to play Base Invaders, if you want to know. But oh my goodness, what was that?
Oh no. All right. They're going to reinforce themselves. They're going to go ahead and, well, never mind. They got wiped. They got wiped. I like the attempt to make the play. Link is still alive, though. So of the 2 men that flew in, only 1 has survived, and it is absolute chaos. Boobs pushing in through the breach right now. 2 members have fallen. Gellin is still alive for them. Now they're going to make their way on in with the C4. Once again, like we said, they're back at square one. They have to make a lot more progress back into this space, but they have a relatively good idea of how to approach this, but time is against them here. They have a comfortable lead up against NR and Terran Tool, but Terran Tool have the opportunity, being here, to snipe away this TC, and with the amount of presence, with the amount of people here, the potential is there for them to find the PvP kill to catch up.
Now, Boobs have decided they're going to push the core of this base. They want control of the inside of this base. They're really good at those angles and those peaks and getting those PvP kills. We see the numbers continue to go up. Like every few seconds, they're getting a point. It's working for them. Terran Tool, again, we've seen them every time. They want to stay on the outside. They don't like going inside. They like to throw rockets. You're not seeing their points climb as much. The only thing they can do, again, is be a thorn in the side, points-wise, of these two top teams, this Terran Tool team. So interesting how there's also different, you know, Jamerson, like how
Mhm.
they end up playing the base invaders.
A lot of C4 just going down right now, and you need to be able to bring that C4 in. We'll see if Terran Tool can try and push it through the beach. What is Carrick doing there?
Terran Tool
Okay.
turned. They're rocketing boobs.
Oh my goodness.
What?
NR
Or
has shown up
NR?
as well. Oh boy.
Who's
Who do they choose
rocketing?
though? Who do they choose? Are they going to go after two Wick, or are they going to go after boobs? This is such a tough call. They're going after boobs right now. You can see the first volley going down. There is the
There we
raid
go.
platform set up, but this is such an odd approach. You can see they are literally on the cliff's edge at that point. Boobs are pulling back for this defense, and if NR are not successful in taking out this TC, the raid defense alone will just clinch it for boobs.
Okay, so NR pulled out of whatever raid they were going to. They decided to come after boobs. Big move, okay? So, boobs then have to stop on 2 week. 100% that's going to stop. So, these two teams are going at it. NR, huge move on their part. Now, the only factor that we have here is Terran Tool and what they're going to do. Are they going to continue with 2 weeks, or are they going to turn and try to either, oh my god, we got Hog Riders back. Look who showed back up.
Yeah, the Hog Riders had to regroup, and now they're approaching that boobs base again. But we have to mention, actually, take a look at Topple right now. He's on top of the raid platform. He was trying to make a flank work for him, but it seems like he had one other person trying to help him out. Oh, nice pickup there. But the NR members are coming in full force. Toxical, you got Difference as well. Topple trying his best to heal up Rafik. We'll go for the peak in just a moment, but he has given him the shake. Take a look at Whitex as well, pushing out. So this NR raid is about to end. It seems like they are getting pinched, while Terran Tool are given free liberty to continue this raid onto 2 Wake. Their rocket booms has slowed down just a little bit. Jack is going to go ahead and push into the breach, but oh no, Lennox spots him out, takes him out. Straffy, though, is still outside of this compound now, and he might have a go in trying to push in himself.
Never, ever would I have imagined this right now. So, boobs is still, look at them. They're pushed out. Are they pushed out on both sides? They're definitely pushed out on the Terran Tool side, NR side, sorry, I should say. And they're trying to make quick work of them and their bled platforms over there. Hog Riders look like they're coming closer up to the boobs base on the, oh, there was a mini. They just got mini bombed on the other side as well. I'm not sure who's on the roof, but somebody's on the roof there.
I mean, this is starting to look like a Battlefield mod, or like, you know, like custom servers here. Boobs. It looks like they were sent back to their spawn. Unfortunately, this time around, their counter on to, or well, the defense up against Hog Riders, not as successful as the first time. But again, Boobs are just happy to have action coming their way. They need the PvP kills. If they get the raid defense as well, that would be huge for them. Egg inside of the base right now. Nice turnaround as a defender tries to deal with him, and you can see he might be running low a little bit on the C4 because there are a lot more doorways that he could have tried to focus down. He's being very surgical with his response for it. Another defender gets taken out. Egg is just the one-man army inside of this 2-Wake base. We'll see if Terran Tool can steal another raid away.
And I'd like to see, it's good to see them inside the base, but again, you know, all the noise on the outside led them to be able to have free reign in this poor, you know, 2-Wake base who they've just been depleted. Like, they've been raided since the start. So this is such a long time for 2-Wake to be in raid. It'll be interesting when we go to the scores to see how many raid defenses blocks they had down, because I don't think the block is dropped that often.
No. They're at 243 points currently in 5th place. Hog Rider underneath them in 6th. These are our final 6 squads, right? And I think every last team is actually here in the vicinity of these 2 bases, of course. 2 defenders, 4 raiders right now. Ahaha have been trying their best at this base. They are largely inside. They've got 3 members currently in, but it's still a race. Terran Tool, Kirito, popping his way on in. Egg has been alive this entire time, still making progress inside. The rockets still coming through. No one trying to counter whatsoever. Boobs have their own demons to deal with on that side, as Hog Riders have pushed up to their compound right now. Oh, that looked a little bit scary, but no, that was a teammate for Egg. He's going to actually try to go through these walls instead with that C4. Surprisingly enough, he's had enough of these doorways.
Okay, I just looked at this two-wig team, and now I understand. Okay, so this two-wig team, great PvPers, mind you. I understand why they get in the defense they are. This is not an easy raid now that I see this. Again, you know, Terrence will, you know... Oh, I see who's on my friends on Terrence will. Now, I should have looked at this earlier. So... What a race today. There is a great group in this base Invaders today. Many well-known names.
This is absolutely wild right now. Our top 3 teams separated by about 70 points. Boobs has a clear lead over Terrantool, and honestly, for Terrantool, they need this TC and they need someone to take out Boobs. That's going to be Hog Riders, but Hog Riders have been largely unsuccessful on their attempts on that Boobs base. So Terrantool, you know, they need 2 amazing things for them to happen, and they only have 11 minutes for that to occur.
Yeah, I'm so interested. I kind of want to see what's going on the outside, because I'm so interested in what's happening in that Boobs base. Boobs is climbing in points, so I want to say that raid block's going up and down, up and down. That's what I have to guess, and that's what you do. That Boobs team, if you look, you know, the rockets are flying, and where are they at? There's a couple people in base. They're outside. They're pushing all those rocketers. They're making work on the ground, because that's how they know how to play this game. You know, this is a bunch of well-rounded PvPers in this team. So again, you know, this has been such an exciting tournament. This is amazing, Jamerson.
I love how Boobs are approaching this. They have like 4 members outside pushing out the Hog Rider squad. I mean, push them all the way towards their raid platform, while a few members are left at home defending this raid from NR on top currently. And again, if NR are not successful, this is just raid defense points for Boobs to clinch things in NA and take the win again. And NR, they need this TC, but I don't know if they have enough. I don't know if they have enough rockets to get through such a chunky base. You saw that there was armored core that they still have to work through. So the chances of them being able to find it are extremely low at this point. Now, as we get to see the remnants of this base, Ahaha are inside, still dealing with a lot of these doorways. At the very least, they are in Terrantool as well with these rockets right now. Oh, defender coming in. We got V-Kid. Gotta be careful. Ahaha. Still trying to counter this. Now going for the peek out. Don't know who ended up winning out on that duel. It looks like, actually, they just backed away from that one. C4 still going through. Man, this maze of doorways is making it extremely difficult. 2 still alive, but they don't have any loot to try and work with B-Kid now rocketing his way on up. Gotta be careful about these defenders, but KR has his backup and will be able to maintain presence on the inside. It's coming down to the wire. The last 9 minutes here, Kaylee.
Listen, this two-way base, I don't know if it's me or if you noticed it. I want to say they have somebody running around putting doors and garage doors and up every 10 seconds, because every time I think they've made headway, it just seems like there's a massive doors in this core again. Like, does it ever really feel like they're getting anywhere? That's the way I see just looking on the outside.
Like a Hydra, right? But like with doorways, right? Every time you cut off a head, 2 more doors appear. Right? We were seeing throughout the day that, you know, a lot of our teams have become very experienced when it comes to sealing, when it comes to putting down doors and everything. They keep their the priorities in the right place when it comes to these defenses, and no surprises, especially when we're down to our final 6 squads. These are, you know, the best squads in the server right now, for the simple fact that they survived. They are here, and with 8 minutes to go, Boobs are continuing to grow their lead. They have 55 points above NR. So things are looking really bad for NR. They need that miracle snipe. They need to take out that TC.
And that's where the experience comes. They knew what they were doing. Like, taking on Boobs is going to be the hardest thing. But if they want the win, they need to eliminate number 1. So kudos to them. Big play. 7 minutes is still a lot of time. We've seen these TCs, they've been falling, within minutes of when we think they're, not even a hope. So it's crazy today. So Terran Tool really still fighting. Oh my gosh, I'm exhausted. This two-way base is formidable. Like, I'm exhausted watching this at this point. Are you not, Jamerson?
I've got a lot of caffeine, flowing through my veins right now, so I'm pretty good. But it definitely helps to have such amazing action right now. You can see the defenders, closing up the doorways at the very least on their dying breaths. And right now, Terran Tool are trying their best to come back. They're coming back in naked, which, I don't know, does not bode well for me. They need this TC. But all that, by the way, Terran Tool have actually caught up. They're only 9 points off from NR. So, if maybe Hog Rider get a miracle steal and knock out Boobs, it could be a two-way race between NR and Terran Tool.
Right? And Hog Rider, really, they've done a great job of not giving up and coming back. We've seen them do that in a couple raids now. They haven't had the easiest today. But again, Boobs take it to the ground. Every time these teams pull up, they just take it to the ground, and they seem to dominate in these PvP points.
NR have found an opening, though. They are inside of that compound. You can see Toxical is here by himself. The large majority of Boobs have respawned. Oh, the rooftop. One person getting taken out there. And that's going to allow NR just free rockets in. With 5 minutes, 6 minutes remaining, they're going to go ahead and push more players into that base. Right now, you can see Rafik joining Toxical. They need the C4 to start going down. They need that. But now, the base is starting to fall apart. What looked like an insurmountable task, actually quite possibly doable. They're going to go for the structure integrity here. White goes for the peak, but he actually takes a rocket to his feet, goes down. Rafik survives with 13 HP, taking out a defender inside of the compound. Take a look at how deep this core is. So much armored, so many doorways. There's still a lot for NR to deal with.
Can I just say, Jamerson, like, we're in the last 5 minutes. These 6 teams, these are like champion 6 teams. The way they're playing today, what has been going on, these haven't been easy raids. Everybody's defending. They really, really impressive 6 teams left.
Yeah, we typically don't have an ending like this where it is a race to the finish for a TC. A lot of times it can kind of come down to, the final PvP kills or just one team dominating, but it has been an extremely close race throughout all of this. Now, RPD is inside with Toxical inside of the compound currently. Boot still putting up a really good defense. 1, 2, 3 goes for the peak to take out Toxical, leaving only RPD up. And that does mean putting that focus on that side of the base allows Hog Rider now to climb up onto the base. They still have a lot of outer honeycomb to deal with, though. They have not made the same kind of progress because of the defense coming out from Boobs, but they are on top of them. You can feel the urgency in the boom, feel the urgency in the way that they're moving around. 2-man squads trying to take apart this base. You can see NR have made their way back on up once again. Rafik is here. Not the hell of a one player. We'll see if Toxical can get back in as well. It's a race to the finish. We got 3 minutes and 45 seconds left.
This is exciting. We have Kaz, our favorite, quip master from the EU, over there saying it's something quite satisfying about seeing Boobs on top. That's because Boobs are, I'm just saying, I might be biased here, but Boobs strong.
Yeah.
These guys,
no strangers to the shakedown whatsoever at all. But they are handling it extremely well. And now it looks like it's the Foundy wipe. It is the Foundy wipe.
What is this?
What? Okay, someone please spot that out. Start booming. Oh my goodness.
I respect this immensely. They know they have 3 minutes left. They are throwing everything and anything at this side, just trying to find that base in hopes of that win. I respect this play immensely.
1, 2, 3 has dropped down into the compound ground, and he has actually dealt with a lot of the people inside. So, NR, this is still a very, very risky play for them. Boobs They're just trying to hold on. 2.5 minutes remaining. They just need their base to stand. They just need their TC to survive. Toxical is in. He spots out Widex, and he will take him out. 1, 2, 3, though, tries to go for the counter. He does spot him out, brings him a bit low, but Nikita is there to deal with the Raider. Boobs are barely hanging on. Their base narrowly surviving. 2 minutes remaining. They just need to hold on a little bit longer.
So I wonder, we've seen Boobs pay so much attention to that Hog Rider on the opposite side. And I think based on the amount of damage we see on this side, I think Hog Riders had it when they said on the other side. So very slim chance NR is going to get it on this side. But again, you know, wild if they were to able to just randomly take that foundation and get that TC.
Vlad's back in. Take a look at all the C4, all the boom. Someone just needs to pick it up and just start throwing it down. Bounty wipe is going to be the best way for them to try and find this TC instead of dealing with level upon level upon level of doorways here. Boos have dropped down, and it looks like they might have maintained control over this. Ooh, nice little cheeky spot on top of that compound doorway there. Or, I don't know how to say his name, Topple. And now he's going to go ahead and give up that position, drop down. RPD is back on in. We got Rafik as well. They need to just...
He doesn't see it.
There you go. He sees it. He sees it, but no, it's too late. Oh my goodness. Topple ends up taking out 1 minute remaining.
This is insane. This is insane. I really... Oh, NR must be hurting. I see them creeping in. They're coming from the outside. They have no guns. They're trying to creep in, trying to pick up anything they can, probably. I really think they're drained.
Yeah, Boobs about to get the raid defense, I think, and just be the clear winners here. Hog Rider, you got 38 seconds. You guys have to make a miracle happen for NR or Terrantool to try and snipe away this win. Oh, Dwayne is inside right now with the help of Wildberry. You're starting to run out of gas. You guys need to get a second rocket down. You guys need to split up the rockets as well. They are taking out defenders. 3 members of Boobs going down. They are inside of the core, but this is armored. You need so many rockets to get through, and you need the time, but that is what they have run out of. 10 seconds remaining. Boobs are on the verge of hanging on. Just a few more seconds, and they will be able to survive this raid phase. Boobs on top. NR, really great effort, but the Boobs base were able to just hold it down. And taking a look at the overall stats, 3 raids completed, 4 raids defended, and a whole hell of a lot of kills.
They really did their work today. You seen now they came out of the attack phase. They were not up there very high. I think they were 3rd or 4th, if I'm not mistaken. They didn't really, because NR had really capitalized on that hard point. They had really pulled away with those points. But then going into the raid phase, NR got choked. They got 2 TC stolen from them. They kind of went down. If NR had gotten those 2 TCs, this would have been a totally different story. They would have been much closer to Boobs, potentially made a big difference. But again, Boobs, you know, they had 3 completed, 4 raid defenses. 4. So right there, that's a minimum 40 points, if not more, depending on how long the raid block was up. Look at the items gathered, 1.3 million. They got a farmer in there. They got a farmer.
Yeah, Hog Rider actually did them a little bit of a favor. The multiple attempts that they made on that base, I think 3 out of those 4 raid defenses were up against Hog Rider. And that might actually be the difference maker in all of this, because yeah, NR on top were so proactive throughout the large majority of this. Let's go ahead and take a look at NR on top's their stats to see how that worked out for them. Because yeah, they were so active. Like you said, throughout the attack phase, I believe they came out with 130 points after the attack phase, if I'm remembering correctly. So that means they only picked up about 200 and some odd points throughout the raid phase here. Yeah, for NR. Oh my God. Take a look at that, Kaylee. 1 raid completed.
Yeah, and 2 stolen from them. So, I mean, you know, 80 points right there. That's 80 points. Total kills, 222. 320 versus, Boobs who had well over 330. So that's a big difference in the kills. There's still positive KDR, deaths 191, items gathered 1.8 million. Look at that. They get a farmer too. That hard point control time though, 5 minutes total control. That's what they got counted for. So they did a really good job. We've seen that. And again, they got no heli. Why does it say that's wrong? So we know that's wrong because they did get a heli. So, yeah, no, they did it really. This must be a tough one to swallow for them today.
Oh, there we go. We just got it updated. So 8 heli crates looted, 1
There we go.
helicopter taken down. So this actually played out fairly similar to what we had in EU before. NR put a lot of focus, I believe it was NR, that put a lot of focus on the hard points, and they came out the leaders, but then they weren't able to transition it as well. This time around, they just got, like you said, the TC sniped away from them. Very unfortunate. Very unfortunate. And one of the reasons, well, was because the team right below them, only 5 points off. That's going to be our number 3 team with 393 points. Terran Tool were able to snipe away some of those TCs. 3 raids completed for them. No one even targeted their base. Not a single raid defense for them. 250 kills with a 219 deaths. So yeah, another positive KDA for that squad.
Yeah. So Tarantul, again, PvP wise, they're kind of similar to NR on top. They were, but they did not have the hard point. They did not have the bonus points that NR got coming out of the attack phase, going into the raid phase, the bonus. It again, Tarantul, they were able to pull up to 2 separate raids and totally snipe those TCs. They must have been so happy today because little work was put into those 2 TCs that they got.
Yeah, they just showed up, rocket pummeled. That's the nice thing about sevens or any of these larger squad formats is just the rocket pummel is just so strong. Just put strap 2, 3 rocket launchers on the back of 7 players. You can easily deal with 2, 3 layers of honeycomb so fast, and we got to see that today. 2 Wake though, the team you have to imagine a ton of raid defenses. Let's go ahead and take a look at that. No, just the 2. They were just that long, but they had 301 kills, 334 deaths. So they were just never really able to leave their base.
So this is where points matter. And when you're playing this is one of those situations where you walk out of it and you're so angry because they literally spent their whole time in this event defending their base. They were in raid the whole time. So they only had the raid block top twice. So it really did hurt them so much being in raid block the whole time. You can see it in the PvP kills. 301 to 334. That 301, the top team so far had 334. They're only 30 points off, but look at the point difference between 2Wake and the top team. They literally couldn't do anything. So they did a lot of work, even though you don't see it in the points.
Yeah, 52 points in raid defenses. So that is such an odd thing because yeah, I think they spent the last an hour of the raid phase defending,
Easily.
but you
Easily.
top out at the 40 points in raid defense. Fairly well, well before the hour mark, to say the least, but they were just defending the entire time. So imagine if they could have actually, gone for the raid. Wait, take a look at doors destroyed, by the way. When did they have an opportunity to destroy a door?
Maybe. I have no idea. But again, even though the points aren't there and they don't look to be as high, they did massive work today. And the fact that their TC still stood at the end of the event, big props, even though you don't see it in the points. Big, big props.
Yeah, we also got to see at the beginning, right? They were the base that had that really really wonky attempt at a compound because they had built on such a weird hill.
Right? Yes.
So,
Oh,
yeah. Congratulations though, 2 Wake surviving, and hopefully we can see more out of them. Let's take a look at the stats for the final 2 teams though. Ahaha, sitting in 5th place, they had 324 points, so not too far off. Looks like that was the squad that was rating 2 Wake the entire time though, right? I believe.
Pretty much. And again, we have Lennox. We've seen some highlights from him. They had 312 PvP points. Their KDR is a little lower because they had to match at 284 deaths. So not as good as we've seen in the Booms team so much, but still 300 kills plus is that is huge. A lot of items, 1.8 gathered. Not really we didn't really see too much of them during the attack phase. There wasn't really a lot going on, but during that raiding phase, you did see them raid the whole time.
Yeah, and it kind of reflects in their doors destroyed. By the way, 101, all of those 2 weeks. That's absurd. 101 doors. Can you imagine having to get through all those doors? Well, yeah, because they spent all hour and a half of the raid phase on it,
Right?
so they were averaging a door a minute. So maybe they could have picked up the pace just a little bit there. One door
Remember
per minute, basically throughout the attack or throughout the raid phase.
right, remember I was saying those doors kept coming back? I
Yeah.
believe they were. I believe looking at that point system, they were.
And let's take a look at our final squad. The very persistent squad, Hog Riders. 0 raids completed, 0 raids defended because the entire time they were trying to go after boobs, it seems. But they do still end up and walking away with a positive KD, 252 to 231. Well, it wasn't all boobs. They were showing up to multiple raids. I believe they were there for um, the X-Prez raid? I can't quite remember. That seems like a lifetime ago. And surprisingly enough, despite, taking out what, 118 doors, no raids completed for them. So they were staying active. They were trying to be on the offensive. It's just, it seems like, fortune just wasn't in their favor today.
No, we've seen a few times where they were wiped, and their bread platform was taken and they had to turn and figure something out. I think they're the product of that today, where they had to turn and pick a new target. Wherever they shown, they just kind of got bullied out more so, and especially taking on boobs. Boobs had bullied them out 2 to 3 times we've seen. And they put up, but again, they came back, and I love that perseverance. They didn't give up, and their TC was still standing as well because I don't think anyone actually ever went to their base.
Yeah, there was that. I'm trying to remember who Hog Rider were going after, but Tarantul ended up showing up and stealing that raid away from them. So Tarantul just the scourge essentially of this
Right.
entire lobby. Everyone here, basically in the final six, had a bad turn against Tarantul throughout the days. So it's unfortunate they weren't able to take a win, but man, did they put up an effort. Man, did all of our teams put up an amazing show today for Base Invaders here in North America, 7v7s. And I had an absolute pleasure casting today with you, Kaylee.
Thank you so much. I enjoyed it thoroughly. I am so glad I got to be here and for boobs to come out on top. That warms my heart knowing that. Um, it has been fun, Jamerson. I hope you have a great rest of your day as well.
Yep, that's right. And so that's going to go ahead and do it for us, for everyone here at Rustoria Servers. Thank you all so much for tuning in. And of course, big shout out to Rusty Pot, our sponsors. If you guys want to, check out Base Invaders yourself, you can always sign up. Make sure you join our Discord. Kaylee was able to put down the command for us earlier on, but if you type in exclamation mark Discord, you can go ahead and join the Base Invaders Discord. Stay abreast about all of the updates for what we're doing here. And if you fancy yourself an opportunity to try and compete, it's a whole lot of fun. And so keep an eye on that Discord. But like I said, thank you so much all for tuning in. For Kaylee, myself, for everyone here at Rustoria, and of course Rusty Pot. Thank you all so much for tuning in. And we'll see you guys another day for some more Base Invaders. Have a good one.